Shalom is real quick video giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakat Kadash. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles, elder bishops, great millstone, much salutation to the brothers, teach word for the hopeful elect, soon to be the elect most high will. The hopeful extended elect shalom blessings. I was looking at this video Pastor Hart posted, and he land backed off Elder Manata Zakba in South Carolina's video, and it's called, Apostles' video is called Knowing That We Israelites Is Not a Trend. And let me see. In the elders' videos, Esau is concerned about the great awakening of the Hebrew Israelites. Hashtag vocab Malone. And I just heard a key point in this. Vocab's team saying, or somebody he was talking to saying that, laughing that we keep the Sabbath and all that. And these are the same devils that believe in this American system that keep Thanksgiving, those are some weird ass holidays, man. Just to let you know. Just to let you devils know, we're celebrating Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas and all that is some weird ass BS, man. But, I did look up trend before I go into a rant and all that. A culture could be a trend. We do have culture in our history. That's part of our history, the culture. But nationality is not a trend. It says, and I looked up how long trends last, and they're usually a year. You come out, Apostle said examples in his video. My 2 cents would be, like a pair of shoes, or like bell bottoms. That was a trend back then in the 60s, whatever. But, they never been brought back, really. The Jerry curl, it really never got really brought back, but some they still wear it. Some kind of wear pants that look like bell bottoms a little bit, but not the actual thing. It also says trends usually sometimes they usually resurface like every 20 years. But and I said, and then it stated what can be a trend is interest in a country, travel, media, aesthetics. Yeah, when America is a trend. America used to be hot. Everybody used to come to America, into American products and all that. Merchandise. Countries come. Other people from other countries come here, get a souvenir, take it back, say, look, I was in America. I say, oh yeah. So America is really a trend. That would be considered a trend. This place, or the interest in this place, cultural elements associated with a nationality, fashion, food, language, music. I don't think that never fades away with our people. You might say, well, yeah, the music has changed, and now if you listen to the music today, a lot of the old school 70s, 80s music is incorporated into music today. But you'll have a youngster thinking something is new when it's really not. He'll hear a song yeah, what's the name sing that? Nah, they got that from the 70s, I know, and they'd be thinking they know. But that song's been copied, that song's been sampled. And it tells you in the scripture nothing is new. So us coming to be, coming into the knowledge of being Israelites and nothing new, it happened back then. And if it was a trend back 40 years ago plus, even going to One West, it would have died out. It's going more now. Apostle Tahar mentioned everybody wanted to be an Israelite in the 90s, and a lot of people did wake up. A lot of people, did treat it like a fashion, treat it like a trend, and they dropped out. You know, but if it was a trend, it would have been there. We gave that Israelite thing a try. It's profit's still out there, man, and it growing in numbers. So I don't know what these devils are talking about. You can't listen to illogical. They don't make no damn sense, because when you if you really truly get into your emotions, you don't think right, man. If you're really, you know, a feminist and get into your emotions, you can't think with logic. You can't think right. And that's what a lot of these devils do. They just say anything out the side of their neck, which doesn't even make any sense. Online identity or aesthetic, if I'm saying it right, version of a nationality like Korean wave, the Italian lifestyle. Um, yeah, you might have an Italian lifestyle, and they might go back to, like in our era, hip hop. You had the zoot suits, you had the Kangos and all that. And every now and then you might see a Kango here, there. Our people wearing Kangos here and there, but it's not as popular. It was a trend. But what that got to do with the nationality? The people are still the same, and we still create different ways to come up with fashion. Now, I'm telling you this, that now the fashion is men wearing and purses and dresses and shit. So that's not that shouldn't even be a thing, you know. So let these devils tell it. They be like, well, yeah, black men wearing dresses. That's a trend. It's gonna eventually play out. Well, what about it? It shouldn't even be a trend, you dummies. Some things shouldn't even be. Uh, or they have a such thing as in my era. So you'll have some Israelites that, because there's still Israelites that have fallen out the truth. That say, yeah, man, I was an Israelite. We was marching. We was doing all this. We used to go to sanctuary. We used to sell incense. We used to, everybody was on the streets, and everybody things were popping and stuff. And I saw apostles out there, and high priest, Ariel, apostle, and it was jumping. And he's now like a simp for his wife, or for the times being, he's mixed up into this world and shit. Um, you know, scared of a bomb dropping in America or something like that. Or he'll have some social media ties to where he just posts stuff every now and then about the Israelites or trying to keep up. But no, Most High said in the scriptures that our work is not done in vain. It's men, like we say, apostle, starting with the apostle, elders, bishops on down, have been out there 40, 30, 20 plus years, 10 plus years, you know, and still going. So that's not a trend, you devils. You gotta be a dumbass to believe that logic, or to even consider that logic. Um, and this is more of a rant. I haven't pulled the scripture yet, but I mentioned, like, yeah, the thing that is the thing that shall be is the thing that is. I'm paraphrasing. There's no new thing under the sun. That which was is to be. Basically, nothing can be new. You devils. Nothing can be new. Like a trend is something new. Like, oh yeah, damn, I ain't never seen those before. Those are them new Jordans, man. And then they die out. Well, you can't treat this truth like the new Jordans, man, because this truth has been done before this in the same fashion, you know, and that's that word fashion, but it's not a fashion show. It's a makeup of the spirit of that would put on men to do the Most High's work, and to face adversities, and to understand biblical prophecies and biblical portions and breakdowns to where they line up with prophecy, you know, to where because they know they're going to be played out in this world, not played out like as a fashion going out of style. I'm talking about they play out on the earth like Most High let it be manifest on the earth. So while you got World War III, they don't call that a fashion. They don't call that a trend, but because people die, and it be taken serious. Like, yeah, no, we always have wars. That's just a trend. It'll be over like within a year or two. We always have 1 year, 2 year period war. So, yeah, nah, they don't speak on that because they ass get done in, being bombed or being put in a body bag. So they take that serious. Um, what else? I won't even make this long. Um, they say they consider they not done evil. Let me get that. And every idle word, that scripture. Every idle word should be accounted for them. And see, we know the history of the Negro coming to America, that we came on slave ships, and so-called Native Americans, that how they got trampled and slaughtered by these devils that are in power right now. So, and that can't be a trend either. Like, oh yeah, the so-called white man, that's just a trend. He just, he's in one of his tantrum modes and one of his, caveman states, and it'll be over. He'll get back to being a Christian, and it comes every now and then, every, dark blue moon or whatever. Nah, this is the way this devil's been through and through, you know. Um, they have not considered that they've done evil. And this is for righteousness. Right? If you fight for righteousness, that doesn't never get old. You devils, you fag boy devils, you'll never get done fighting for righteousness unless you're a wicked ass person, man. That's like people fighting for rights, is protesting for rights. Anytime something go wrong in their land or their, in their state or in their houses. I mean, concerning political power moves and laws put into place to where they feel it's against humanity, against citizenship. Yeah, they'll that. That's always there. That'll never end. As long if people they can be cool for a while, but then they'll be like, well, we got to protest because this is not right. That's not a trend. Well, for taking to you, I wanted to. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I might have to. And this is the last script, like I said. They considered that they done no evil. King James Version. Uh, they don't consider that they have done evil. King James Version. Mm, yeah, I forget how it's worded. Thoughts were continually evil. King James Version. And just like Genesis back then, 6 and 5. And you can't forget either that these people, these same ones that believe in a so-called white Jesus, that rosy cheek, long haired dude that look like you know, that they say that look like a rock star. The rock stars, you know, model themselves to look like talking about, and we that's a immediate cut with that long hair. Paul says, "Is it doesn't nature teach you itself that a man should not have long hairs?" You know. So why, if he taught by the Son of God, which is Yahweh Shai, why would the Son of God have long hair? You devils. And it says, Genesis 6:5, and the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil. Yeah, that's like these people. So what did the Most High do? He flooded the earth. What he's going with water, and this time he's gonna flood the earth with fire, man. And I'm glad that the war is happening. I'm glad that Third World War is surfacing. I'm glad that you know, the least of the flock is involved, which is them small hats. I'm glad that they we told you that they were Iran was definitely going to be involved, which is the, you know, Persians, which is mentioned in the scriptures, which is prophecy, and Russia getting involved. And we tell you that the Bible is coded, it's encrypted, only to those that the Most High wants, and hidden to those that the Most High wants it to be hidden to. These men that talk like this, these butt boys that talk like this, they're going off of what they've been taught in America. Freedom and liberty, and we can express ourselves. That's why you got so many platforms, so many podcasts, people just saying anything and shit. Back then, it did. Like I said, when Negroes was in slavery, they didn't have shit to say. All their religion was freedom. Oh, we just want to be free, man. I just want to be free. They didn't talk. They didn't have a podcast, or they didn't want to put anything in writing up on and make it a banner. They didn't want to go to the courts because they know they couldn't. You know, they know they didn't have a power. They just wanted to escape or go to a better house, a better slave master's house, a better plantation, to where it wasn't that hard, and sometimes you could sleep in the master's house more often, or in the back house, than compared to South and other regions of the South, and that's all it is, man. These other nations and these heathens and these, especially the devils, the Edomites, they're gonna say this, and we expect it to. It's like that racial thing. It's not a trend because it's always there. It just sits and waits for the right time to where it's surface of being brought up because the trigger of the spirits of man. But it's always there. You always see it. It's if it's not one part of the land, it's this part of the land. If it's not happening in the South, it's somewhere happening in the West or the North. Somewhere happening in the Midwest. Somewhere happening on the other side of the world, and they'll make it a public news broadcast, and then you be like, well, yeah, that's a thing. Racism is well and alive, and it's a thing. It's not a trend. So we're definitely not a trend, because the Bible is always needed. The Bible is always a reference to a person's life, men's life, especially the hopeful elect, even Israel as a whole. Righteousness and wickedness is always set against each other, but always be sought out, the difference to which one is exercised more. They even have it in politics. So that's not a trend. And many more examples, man. Many more examples. So if to call us a trend means you calling the Bible a trend. Like, yeah, the Bible, it'll clear out, and we'll start worshiping. Christianity has been around for ages, since the ancient world, and it's still big and it's still in effect, but not so much on a level to where it people are questioning its entirety. Because they know you can pick scriptures and cherry pick things in the Bible, pull out it, but overall, the volume of a book, you got to address everything, and that's when people question the church. So that's always going to be a thing until we get out of here, because people want to know what the hell is going on. especially when the times are more evil than ever and they're getting worse. So anyway, hopefully it's edifying. To the next video. Shalom.